Welcome to Epic Flight Academy. We are thrilled to have you on campus to begin your flight training. Epic's mission is to provide exceptional training to aspiring aviation professionals through innovative technology and instruction in a safe and timely manner. We have a lot to go over regarding visas, conduct on campus, the new SMYRNA Beach area, safety, the courses you will be taking, and other important information. Let's get started. Visas. M1 visa. This information is important for both international and domestic students looking to become flight instructors. All international students are here at Epic on an M1 visa, which is an intensive training visa, not a vacation visa. You must be scheduled 22 hours a week, or at least 5 days a week in order to stay in compliance with the US government. This is not Epic's policy. You must have a visa stamp in your passport to enter the country, and the visa itself. If your visa expires while you are here in the United States, that's okay. Your I-20 is what keeps you here legally while you are in the country. If you leave the country and your visa is expired, you will have to go get a new one before you can return to Epic. Please see Student Services if you have more questions or concerns on this. If your I-20 expires, you will not be able to train. You will have to get a new one, leave the country, and come back. Most I-20s are for a year, which should be plenty of time for you to complete a full course. When you leave the country, Epic will terminate your I-20. Epic will then issue you a new I-20 to take with you before you leave, which costs $350. You must have a valid passport to pursue your flight training. If it is about to expire, you will need to go to the embassy to get it valid. You will be grounded and unable to train until you can get your passport current, or if your passport expires. If you are a domestic student, then you have to have a valid driver's license and birth certificate to continue your training. The I-94 is an entry and departure form. Every student who enters the country has one of these. If you need this or want more of an explanation, see Student Services for more information. Quick side note, if you are a foreign license holder, if you do not have your letter of authorization, also known as the foreign verification letter, you will not be able to take a check ride. Usually, you will get this before you start here at Epic and renew it while you are here. You will need to contact Student Services so they can upload it to your documents on ETA. Taking a break. We understand if you need a break from classes and flight training, but we also do not recommend that you take breaks often. The reason for this is because it will cost you to have review flights or repeat activities when you get back, which costs you more money and time. This goes for all students. The only time an international student is allowed to leave the state is if you are training. This is Epic's rule. You must get permission from management to leave the state of Florida if you are an international student. If you do plan on taking a break, you will need to fill out the proper forms to get approval from your team leader before you can go. Make sure you turn in your request 3 days or more in advance. On the request is an address to fill out. You will need to make sure this is done, especially by international students. It is Student Services' job to know where you are at all times. If the government comes into Epic and asks Student Services where you are and we don't know, then Epic and the student will get in trouble, and may result in the government pulling our I-20s from us and also cause the student's deportation. While you are here, we will need to know your address and phone number. If you move, you must let Student Services know so we can ensure your paperwork is updated. Please keep these two things updated in ETA as well. This is so your instructor, team leader, or anyone who is trying to get in touch with you is able to. Extensions on your I-20. You should finish your training on time, but if you need an extension, you will need to request and complete the paperwork prior to that end date. We recommend talking to Student Services before that to begin planning. The extension payment is $455, which is a good amount of money, so let's make sure you really need to extend your training before filling out the application. We don't want to waste that money if you are almost done and can finish prior to the end date. Student Services will usually reach out to you about 45 days or so prior to your end date via ETA email to make sure you are on track with your training and can go over your options. With that being said, do not rely on Student Services to get in touch with you. Students are responsible for keeping track of their dates and knowing where they currently stand in their training. Remember, Epic is here to help you be professional, on time, and responsible. You have a window from the end date for 20 days prior to apply for an extension. If you are not in that window, the extension tab disappears, and Student Services can't help you. Understand, this is the government who gives access to this option, not Student Services. If you miss this window, you will have no choice but to either finish your course or go get a new I-20, leave the country, and come back. If you have applied for the extension and it is not approved and in pending status, and you do leave the country, that is considered an abandonment of your petition, at which point we will have to terminate that one and get a new one issued to you for $350. TSA regulations. It is important we work together to have this information submitted before you arrive at Epic so that you don't need to wait to begin your training once you arrive on campus. But if you are unable to complete it before your arrival, Epic will help you through the entire process. Don't be afraid to ask for assistance if you need it. When you submit the TSA application and make the payment after it is validated by Epic, you will have a few emails sent to you. You will first have training request processing, which means they are processing your application and reviewing the information. The next email you may get is insufficient information to process. This means that something on the application is either missing or not filled out properly. Most of the time, these are things that are easy to fix, like an address or uploading a document. They will tell you what needs to be fixed in the email. The next one you will get, if all is correct, is Documentation Accepted, Fingerprint Instructions. This is the email that allows Student Services to take your fingerprints, which we will make appointments for after orientation. For those of you who are transferring or going into the next course, you will have Documentation Accepted, Fingerprints Being Transferred. This does not mean you can start training. This is just letting you know that the fingerprints you did when you first started are being transferred, and you do not have to take more prints. You will still need to wait for the Permission to Initiate Training fingerprint receipt to train. After we take the fingerprints and Student Services submits them, you will get an email that says Permission to Initiate Training Fingerprint Receipt. At this point, we will upload that to your ETA and also email your team leader so you can then begin your training. Sometimes and rarely, you will get this email and it will not let you train until you get final approval to start your training. If you do not have Permission to Initiate Training Fingerprint Receipt or the final approval, you cannot touch a training device. This applies to both simulators and aircraft. If you are in a course longer than expected and your TSA expires for that course, you will need to submit a new application or request. You will also need to pay the $130 fee again if this happens. Remember that if you do need to resubmit for the same course, you will then not be able to conduct any training on a device until the new one comes back. Understand you have 180 days to start and a year to complete. If it's your first time or you need help, Student Services will have a sheet that they can give to you so you can get that done, or you may complete the TSA with them if needed. Just get in touch with them and they will schedule an appointment for you. Florida driver's license. If you plan on driving in the United States, you must have a driver's license and will need to apply for one at the Department of Motor Vehicles. To apply for a driver's license, you will need your I-20, your I-94, and 2 proofs of address. These proofs of address can be 2 bills that are in your name, with the current address you are residing. In the United States, you need car insurance. Visit these references for more information. Insurance. Epic does not provide health insurance for students. Students are responsible for providing themselves with their own insurance. Epic can refer students to a third-party insurance provider to select a plan that is appropriate for them. Just schedule an appointment with an admissions representative to get more information on this. Campus. Location. Epic Flight Academy is located on the new SMYRNA Beach Airport, approximately 10 miles south of Daytona Beach and an hour away from Orlando. Our airport has its own air traffic control tower, which provides our student pilots with excellent practice communicating in highly controlled airspace. New Smyrna Beach is an excellent location for flight training because of the weather. Clear skies right off of the beach give students the opportunity to fly frequently during their training and with minimal delays between flights. The only minor delays are usually due to an afternoon shower during the summer. The beach. The beach is a huge part of life on the east coast of Florida, and the area offers plenty of beautiful sights and attractions to visit. When visiting the beach, here are a couple of things to be aware of. Rip currents are powerful, narrow channels of water that move away from the shoreline out into the ocean. You will want to make sure you watch for these when swimming in the water. If you do get caught in a rip current, don't fight it. Go with the current, and when the opportunity arrives, swim out of the current at an angle and then parallel to the beach. Remember to stay calm. Swim by a lifeguard if you feel like you need to. Safety flags. Yellow is medium caution, meaning the ocean could be a bit rough. High is the red flag, which means the ocean is currently unfit for swimming and too dangerous. You also want to be aware of the marine life in the water. That is a purple flag. This can range from sharks to jellyfish and other animals. Final note while at the beach. Keep your car doors locked and valuables out of sight. Some people don't make the best choices and may want to try and steal some of your things if they are visible in your car. Be cautious. 911. If you feel your life or someone else's life is threatened due to a crime in progress, fire, or medical emergency, call 911. Whether it be for yourself or someone else, be aware of your surroundings and look out for yourself and other people around you. Student housing. Epic has student housing for students who need it. The apartments are just 10 minutes away from campus. The units come fully furnished to include furniture, bedding, microwave, stove, refrigerator, TV, and wireless internet. The cost of housing is not included in the cost of flight training. Be sure to keep your apartments locked while you are away and in the evenings. If Epic student housing is full, there are plenty of other nearby housing options available in the area. We can help provide you with some local options if you need assistance. Uniform. Epic has trained pilots from over 80 countries around the world and has graduates flying for over 300 airlines. Our goal is for our students to become professional pilots flying wherever they want. Epic aims to maintain a professional atmosphere when it comes to flight training. Whenever students are scheduled for an activity such as a flight, simulator session, ground school, oral exam, or a check ride, they are required to be in uniform. The uniform consists of the following: white button-up shirt, black pants, black belt, black tie, black socks and shoes, and epaulets. As you progress through your training and earn your stripes, you will change out your set of epaulets to reflect where you currently stand in your training. Your attire on campus speaks volumes about your attitude towards your flight training. Regardless of the airline you fly for, you should dress professionally. Passengers will often associate pilot uniforms with the military. Students should make it a goal to always have your uniform looking its best, clean and crisp. This also includes ensuring you practice proper hygiene for yourself, your fellow classmates, and instructors. This includes using deodorant. Florida's weather is usually quite hot and humid. Being in close quarters with your instructor or a passenger inside of a Cessna could become uncomfortable. Be courteous. Personal habits. In the United States, the legal age to consume alcohol is 21 years old, no exceptions. It is also illegal for someone over 21 years old to purchase alcohol for an underage person. As a pilot, the bottle to throttle rule is 8 hours. Be a responsible pilot. If, for example, you go out drinking the night before a 6 a.m. flight, you are more than likely not going to be making that flight and will not be following the bottle to throttle rule. This behavior is unacceptable and can go on your record. As a professional pilot, you are responsible for the safety of your passengers on all of your flights. Make good decisions. Epic Flight Academy's campus is a tobacco-free campus. If you choose to smoke, we have multiple disposal containers located beyond the campus limits. Be sure to use them, and please keep our campus grounds clean. Epic is a drug-free environment. we have a third-party company who selects random students and employees every month to take a drug test. The use of illegal substances will result in immediate termination from the flight training program with no opportunity to return. For those of you who take medication, you will want to check the FAA website to see if your prescription is acceptable to use while flying. If not, you may have to talk with your doctor to get a replacement that will be acceptable to take while flying. Study habits. Studying is an essential part of student life at Epic. Students frequently gather in study groups on campus in our student library, outside in student gathering areas on campus, and in briefing rooms when available. Make it a priority to schedule study time into your daily routine. Putting the effort into prioritizing your studies will save you time and money. With the work put towards that, you won't need to retake courses or exams, keeping you on track to graduate with your certificate on time. There is a lot of information that goes into flight training beyond technical knowledge of how to operate the aircraft. There are numerous checklists that must be memorized, math and physics that must be calculated before and during flight, as well as rules and regulations that must be understood and followed. This is the time for you to build positive study habits, reinforce the knowledge you are learning in your training, network with instructors, take advantage of campus resources, and build relationships with your fellow students. You never know where your careers may take you. The student sitting next to you could be a fellow pilot on a flight one day. This is the time to focus on your main goal and set yourself up for success. ETA. When you log into ETA, check your new messages to stay up to date on Epic News. When you finish checking your messages, mark them as read and click Update at the top right of the window. We schedule activities a day in advance. The schedule is finalized or posted between 1800 and 1900 daily. If something changes, you will be notified by your instructor. You will want to check your ETA before you go to sleep and when you wake up. My issues. If you have an issue, you will have this section highlighted in yellow. You will want to make sure you take care of these right away. Debit account. This is where you can see where your money is going. You will also be able to see the balance. We recommend keeping no less than $2,000 on your account while you train. If you go below that and you run out of money, you will be grounded, so be sure to keep a positive balance in your account. Links. This is a vital icon. You will find study material, all of which are free for you to use, your out-processing form, your leave requests, and much more. Mail. You can go back over any messages you've received through this tab. Currencies. Under the My Stuff tab, you will find Currencies. This is for your updated and current documents. Staff mostly take care of these things, but if you see something in pink, which means expired, or yellow, which means it's about to expire, talk with Student Services so the discrepancy can be resolved with your information. Qualifications. This is found under the My Stuff tab. This is also for staff use pertaining to your documents. If you have any questions, see Student Services. Pilot log. This is your pilot log from Epic. You can look this up and compare it to your actual logbook to make sure the information is correct and matches. Flight information files. You may have these if something important is going on, like updated documents such as the PPM. When you look at these, you need to put in your PIN in the top right corner to acknowledge that you have seen this information. If you need to change your password or PIN, you can change them under the My Stuff tab. If you are scheduled for any activity, including flight, oral instruction, or simulator session, you will want to arrive at Epic 30 minutes prior to that activity's start time. If you are late, a $100 late fee will be applied to your debit account. If you don't show up for an activity, a $200 rescheduling fee will be applied to your account. This results in the cancellation of that activity. If you are scheduled for a flight or time building, we suggest arriving 1 hour before to check the weather and prepare. Rescheduling fees can be appealed if you are ill. Just be sure to have a doctor's note to file a rescheduling fee petition, found in the links section under Student Services forms. If you need to update your contact information, be sure to see Student Services for assistance. That concludes orientation. We are thrilled to have you on campus. This is a huge first step in your future, and we appreciate your trust in the pursuit of an education with us. If you have any questions, now is the perfect time to raise your hand to clear up any loose ends you may have with the orientation leader. No question is a bad question, and if you have any other concerns come up at any point, don't hesitate to ask. Student services, instructors, and all EPIC staff will guide you to the right person to answer your questions. EPIC Flight Academy prides itself on creating a family environment for its students and staff. We are all in this together and are excited to watch your success unfold as you progress through your training. Congratulations on your first day as a student pilot, and welcome to EPIC Flight Academy.